This is the last ball of Malcolm's over, unless it's a no ball or wide. Oh, and that's a quick delivery. That's very well bowled. It certainly was a very quick delivery, and New Zealand had to battle hard not to lose a wicket. The third day of the final Cornhill Test match at Edgbaston between England and New Zealand. Welcome to the highlights. There's some heavy overnight rain at Edgbaston, but marvellous work by the ground staff ensured the game would start on time, right on the dot of 11 o'clock. The outfield just a little bit damp, but the covers had done a good job, and so too, as I say, had the ground staff. The situation of the match, as the players walked out onto the field, was that New Zealand were 9 for no wicket. That's in reply to England's excellent 435 all out, Gooch 154, Atherton 82, Small 44 not out, and Russell 43. And Chris Lewis in his debut match also did a good job down at the bottom of the order. Hadley 3 for 97, Snedden 3 for 106, and I thought Snedden was the outstanding bowler during that England innings. 9 for no wicket with the overnight not out batsman John Wright and Trevor Franklin. Trevor Franklin was hit by Devon Malcolm from the second last ball of the day yesterday, but suffered no ill effects. We join play now in the first over. Small is bowling to Wright, and the way the conditions are out in the centre, I don't think batting is going to be all that easy in this opening session.
Leg by. The moment it's pace, it's the 10th over with this new ball, and in comes Devon Malcolm. That's off the edge, and there's no man down there. Graham Gooch can afford to keep up his close catches, a long line of them, so no third man at this stage. 4 runs off the thick outside edge. That's a good shot. And that's how slow the pitch is. Time to get onto the back foot and give it a real nudge. 2 runs to Franklin. Oh, that's straight, and he was lucky to get away with that. Trevor Franklin, to me, didn't appear to get anywhere forward at all, just prodded forward with the front leg. Well, it's party time. Oh, that's a drop. Michael Atherton at third slip. He's on his knees now, but he was standing up when it passed him.
Certainly he was stood up and he had to go down. Just carried. And if he'd been down, he could just have caught that.
Oh, that's beautifully bowled.
Off the shoulder.
There's John Wright's career performance for New Zealand. He's in the top 6 in the world, and that's because of the excellent last 12 months he's had. Oh, goodness me. Could have played on, could have been a catch of the wicket, instead 4 runs. This was a loose stroke, Tom, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah, free and easy, and he didn't really get behind it.
Round the wicket goes Malcolm again. That's the answer. 4 runs. That's a better shot. Third boundary for Wright. That's not the Warwickshire Committee rule. It's brisk stuff, really, by England, considering this overlong run of Devon Malcolm's. Shows that they are trying to get on with it and follow the TCCB's edict to get through their 90 overs in 6 hours. John Wright's going for his shots now, and that's the third such offside boundary. 3 and 4 balls now off Devon Malcolm. That could have been played on. John Wright now looking for almost anything. That was much too straight.
Yes, this delivery coming back a little bit on John Wright, but it really wasn't wide enough to play that square cut that he's favoured.
Oh, that's a poor shot. John Wright, really, the writing's been on the wall with the way he's been playing a round off stump against Devon Malcolm. He knows it. Sorely disappointed, having got so far and nearly got through the opening spell for Malcolm and Small. He's gone. England's first wicket. John Wright goes, caught at the wicket by Jack Russell, off the bowling of Malcolm for 24. New Zealand 45 for 1. We'd already had one escape, nearly played on. That was a really wild flash. Did climb a bit.
So Andrew Jones coming to the wicket after the first success of the morning for Devon Malcolm.
There he goes. Didn't really get hold of it, but knew what he was trying to do.
That's elegant but brave.
So the new batsman, Andrew Jones, off the mark first ball, about to take strike. To Gladstone Small.
Conditions are right to swing it a bit this morning, but only if you bowl a full enough length.
That was a marvellous effort. It's 4 runs. The man at Gully Lewis made tremendous ground.
Yes, again, it's a forcing shot off the back foot, although it's flown through the slips there. You ought to be trying to get people to make forcing shots off the front foot.
Andrew Jones and Trevor Franklin.
Bit of a mix-up here, and there's always a run if they're both gone, but hesitating. Really stop him, and Devon Malcolm not too elegant either in his gathering of the ball.
We can always, our computers go, then we've always got somebody to refer to. Oh, brilliant ball. Franklin looked as though he was prepared to go then. Looked as though there was half a pace forward. So Martin Crowe, Lewis to bowl to him. Good shot. That's some small chasing, and it won't be 4. Good running. 3.
And for a change, and it's something you don't see very often in modern cricket, there is almost a third slip on the leg side, a leg gully.
Malcolm's caused some terrible problems this morning. Lively pace that Chris Lewis bowls at. Does get quite close into the stumps. There's another good delivery. Keep your eyes on Mike Atherton here. He's at second slip, third slip, and not really staying down, Tom, as the regular slip fielders and the more orthodox techniques of slip fielding dictate. Now Hemmings to see just what he can make of a pitch from which John Bracewell certainly got turn. And that one turned, so there was criticism of Hemmings when he bowled at Lord's from the pavilion end in particular for bowling the leg stump line too much to predominantly an onside field. But here, his first 2 or 3 deliveries, a different line. Sharp stuff from Stewart. You see Hemmings here, pitching round about middle, the ball being pushed quite firmly out to Stewart, stood his ground and bang, straight back in. Just occasionally a batsman goes to sleep.
Eddie Hemmings to bowl to Franklin. I don't think they'll allow that. Well, wouldn't want it to be a squeeze play. Just a few runs to win. The batsman get a leg bye for that. Only fractionally short of a length. And Crowe latched onto it very, very quickly. It bounced just 15 yards inside the boundary. Well, it's a no ball, and the only reason it wasn't a wide was that the no ball call got in first. And it's a bye. The umpire's being overworked in rather a quiet time out there. LBW. That's well bowled. He's been given. Martin Crowe is not certain whether he's out LBW or caught. But I would say the appeal came at such a time that he was LBW. First test wicket for Chris Lewis after batting very well in the England first innings. Devon Malcolm, the fielder. England very sharp out there with their out cricket at the moment. 91 for 3. They'd be spoken to by umpire Mayer for running straight down the line of leg stump. And he's already been spoken to once before, so this time it's an official warning. The first one was a friendly job. This one is a little more important. It's not quite the yellow card, but perhaps buttercup coloured.
Oh, that's a good shot. No need to run for that. Just put the foot down, hit through it. Big man, Greatbatch, over 6 feet, big strong man, just pushing through that. Yeah, that's a lovely follow through there. Perfect position.
That's a lovely shot, and again, Greatbatch decides not to move one step out of the crease. He knows it's 4. 102 for 3. It's in the air, but it's straight through that gap at extra cover. And that's 4 runs. Very well played indeed by Trevor Franklin. Played it down, turned the wrists on it. And that's what happens when you bowl at the pads too. A really good player can tuck you away. 4 runs square on the leg side. Hemmings to Franklin, who's on 49. Yes, he goes for it. And Trevor Franklin has a century that's not without a problem for Mark Greatbatch, who ran into that throw from Chris Lewis. He gets his 50.
Nice shot from Franklin. He's got loads of patience and basically a defensive player, but when he gets the chance, he can play good strokes like that.
Yes, Franklin is not that gifted a player, but he fights on, and he's looked to try and dominate today. He's tried to keep after Eddie Hemmings, the off-spin, not get too bogged down by him, and he's played pretty well.
We've got a bowling change, which this good crowd has greeted with almost relieved applause, and it's Michael Atherton to replace Eddie Hemmings. A tidy spell from Hemmings, but never really threatened. Significantly enough, before the start of this match, both he and Hemmings had taken 21st class wickets this season, similar cost. Lancashire certainly regard him as more than an occasional bowler. Not bowling like that, but orthodox arc of fielders, 4 on the offside for the single, 2 on the onside, and out on the sweep. He hasn't found anything yet. That's through. Another 3 runs.
Yeah, there's obviously a little bit of nerves out there at the moment. I think people tend to forget that bowlers can be nervous as well as batsmen.
Turning with the swing. A long chase for Small. Doesn't win this one. It's a much warmer day than the previous 2, but people don't think so. Bowling change now. Chris Lewis finished, and back comes Gladstone Small. Oh. Trying to shift that man at Seliminov. Did, but it was no sort of shot at all. Lucky he's still there.
Well, Jack, you know a fella like I do. He'd have headed that to first slip. Name Brian Close, no trouble at all.
Absolutely. Fairbrother after it, he'll have to go, but he's quick. He's 2. Just over halfway through this test match, so plenty of work for England to do, but much of it will swing round whether New Zealand can avoid the follow-on. Again, that shows the lack of pace here. That was banged in, but short enough and wide enough for Greatbatch just to rock back.
I think Robert Smith's not too keen on that Seliminov position at the moment. Greatbatch hitting them past him off the front foot and off the back foot.
But he's off and running out of it.
I think that's a very wise decision by the captain, I would think.
That was a beautifully timed shot. Just got to go and fetch that back. 4 runs. 6-4.
Well, Greatbatch certainly starting to blossom a little bit now.
A fine shot. Lovely shot.
Certainly Mark Greatbatch not messing around here with the long hop outside the off stump. 150 up. So we're having a change in the attack. Devon Malcolm after his very long spell this morning. Coming back into the attack now, replacing Michael Atherton.
Well, that's beautifully bowled. He's come back after a rest and immediately produced one to defeat Greatbatch, who's on 40.
So Eddie Hemmings going to have a go at the City end now.
Now then, this will be something of a tester for Mike Greatbatch. Right arm around the wicket and into the footmarks at the pavilion end. That's a lovely stroke. 4 runs to Greatbatch.
Beautiful sweep shot this, right down on top of the ball, keeping it down like a rocket.
No third man, that's 4 runs to Franklin, take him on to 66. That's beautifully bowled, but it's come off his hip or sweater rather than off the inside edge of the bat. That's good umpiring from John Holder. No doubt about that one. It looks to me as though that came off the inside edge, but it was probably footwork more than anything that did Greatbatch. Perhaps the extra pace generated by Malcolm didn't quite seem to me to have his feet in the right position.
Absolutely right, Richie. He went about 6 inches in front of the crease, and it was a little bit of a lazy shot, really. He was hitting through the line of the ball without ever getting close to it.
This may well be the last over before tea. That is out. It's the last Rutherford will see, last Trevor Franklin will see. And he's survived for so long and then has gone to Eddie Hemmings just before the interval.
Well, that's the point I'm making about Franklin. If you get the ball outside off stump, you have a far better chance for the bat pad, also creating a gate between bat and pad. Eddie Hemmings there getting that just in the right place.
Here's the time, and they're all there just a touch early. Well, that was in the air. It was really a reflex shot. Pretty firmly played. One of those that just had it gone straight at Stewart. He stands his ground. It could have cost Hadley his wicket, but it was a shot forced on Hadley by the bowler and not one of his own selection. There's 4 off something. Off the bat, no. Buys, in fact. That's a strange one. Jack Russell's not too impressed with that. But not all that many runs to play with as regards the follow-on now. Just 51 of them. Oh, and caught. Super catch. Well, there is fine catch by Atherton, and that may well have a big bearing on the outcome of this match. Sir Richard Hadley gone. Caught by Atherton off the bowling of Hemmings. Good bit of bowling and a fine piece of fielding. And now New Zealand in trouble at 185 for 6.
Yes, it was well bowled. Just a little bit of flight. Just did enough. And a fine catch, but Atherton was just stood up a little bit again there. Had a couple of chances today when he's been stood up. And he had to go down again. It's a make ground as well. It was a good catch at the finish.
Oh, there's another one getting turned now. Could well have been a third wicket for him. It's a good shot. End of the over. A good one despite that last boundary, and New Zealand moved on to 190 for 6. Real gutsy cricketer, John Bracewell. Always combative and enjoys what he's doing. That'll be 4. It's his second boundary.
32 needed to avoid the follow-on. Got that right off the meat of the bat. John Bracewell again. A clever play. Very clever play from John Bracewell. He's determined to take the attack to Eddie Hemmings. He's played both through the leg side and now given himself room for the stroke past point. That's just short of Atherton.
Good piece of bowling by Hemmings, just turned round the corner. It pitched short of Atherton, but he was up again.
Yes, that's good thinking by Hemmings. He's outthought Bracewell. One time too many for John Bracewell to be unorthodox. And now it's 223 for 7.
There's that flat back flail. Another 4. His 4th boundary. Caught him. Lovely bit of bowling. Not a great shot. And Stewart takes an orthodox short leg catch. That's the 8th wicket down. Rutherford goes, caught by Stewart off the bowling of Hemmings. 4 for the off spinner. Chris Lewis had a good first spell. Hasn't bowled as well from this pavilion end, but still a pretty good debut for England in this match. They'll be looking for 2. 2 it is. That'll be 4. If it goes there, which it does, that's the follow-on save. Leg byes they were. The crowd know it, they applaud. New Zealand know that the problems are far from over. On again, leg side. Wasn't a good ball, but it was a good shot. A busy little batsman, young Perori. 4 runs for him. It's Snedden quite rightly has worked out the longer he bats in this innings, the less he'll have to in the second. Given him. May have been the arm ball or may have been too straight. Hemmings indicated it was the arm ball. First time 5 wickets for Hemmings. Snedden goes. New Zealand 243 for 9.
So Martin Snedden, having defended well, just misjudges the line.
And that's his best ever bowling performance at Test level. And there's a good shot. Takes Perori into double figures. And again, it shows the lack of pace, even for a wrist spin bowler on this Edgbaston pitch. If you dig it in short or drop it short, the thing just bounces oh so gently. Oh, beautifully bowled. Wonderfully bowled. Perori's not interested, and umpire holder says no. What a beauty. Hemmings always likes to run between the umpire and the stumps when he comes round the wicket, and bowled him. And bowled him. 6 wickets for Hemmings, the end of New Zealand. 249 all out, giving England a lead, I think, of 186. And a good day for England, and a very good one for Eddie Hemmings, getting congratulations there. 6 wickets for him, New Zealand all out 249.
And that 249 means New Zealand are still 186. New Zealand are still 186 behind England. A tremendous performance from the bowlers, particularly Eddie Hemmings. Nice to see him among the wickets there. Those bowling figures are reflected in the full analysis for England. An outstanding effort from Malcolm, I thought, once again today. 25 overs, 7 maidens, 3 for 59. Gladstone Small, there's no justice, because he finished with none for 44, having repeatedly gone past the outside edge of the bat. Lewis bowled a good spell early on and then just fell away a little in his debut test. And Eddie Hemmings, 27.3 overs, 10 maidens, 6 for 58. Atherton, 9 overs for 17 and no wicket, but spun the ball quite sharply. A lead of round about 400 just after tea today